but
Do you want to go from 1 to 10 or from 10 to 1? How do you want to do it?
let's go 10 to 1.
Let's go 10 to 1. Okay.
10 to 1. Should we just go 10, 10, 9, 9, or do you just want to go through a whole list?
I think we should probably go through the whole list. It could get
Okay.
confusing. People might forget what we've said. So why don't you go first and then I'll do mine.
Okay. So number 10 for me, Manuel Mosley. I mean, this is a kid that I said emphatically should start last year, right? And there was some questions. They were talking about bringing back Sherman. What was going to be the option there at second corner? Mosley was not a lock to be that guy. They didn't pay him a lot of money. I'm very happy Mosley's on this team, and he is showing out, it sounds like, even more than he did last year, which was already a very impressive year. Now, remember, I did say it was close between Mosley and Ward. I have them right next to each other, and I could flip-flop them. Charvarius Ward, I'm going to put him at number 9. Juszczyk. I originally had Juszczyk higher on this list, but just based off of the impact on the team, he's the best at his position in the league. And I can't say that about all these other players that I'm going to put above him, but the usage and impact on the team is not near what these other guys are. So to me, I've got him at number 8. Number 7, Eric Armstead. I mean, it's funny how we went from saying it was a mistake to keep Ward and Armstead and get rid of Buckner. But I think as time is wearing on, it's becoming less and less of a mistake in a lot of people's eyes. So I've got Armstead at number 7. I've got Jimmy Ward at number 6. I actually think Jimmy Ward, even though he's not the best player on my list, might be the most important defender this year on the roster, much like I thought Verrett was last year. I've got Kittle number 5. I've got Fred Warner number 4. Now it just becomes talent. Warner number 4, Deebo number 3, Bosa. I mean, Bosa might win Defensive Player of the Year. I mean, the way that you're talking about him in practice, he is doing something completely different this year, over the top, taking over practices, doesn't have to worry about a knee injury. I've got Bosa number 2, and Trent Williams is arguably the best player in football right now at a very important position, and especially for this team with no other experienced offensive lineman, it seems, Trent Williams is number 1 for me.
Okay. That's a great list. Who did you? Oh, okay. So you had Juice. Okay. All right. I have a different list.
I had Ayuk and Mitchell as honorable mentions. So.
Okay. Let me give you my list. Number 10, Eric Armstead. No disrespect. He's a hell of a run defender. At whatever position you put him on the defensive line, he can play any position on the D line and be a great run defender. As a pass rusher, I think he's kind of a product of Nick Bosa. I think Nick Bosa creates a ton of pressure, and Eric Armstead kind of gets some quarterbacks running right into him. Now, Armstead creates pressure too, but he just never has put up sack numbers without Bosa on the field. Maybe I'm wrong on that. That's the way I see Armstead. Good player, but I think that the people above him make a bigger impact, in my opinion. So 10, Armstead. 9, Brandon Ayuk. I think Brandon Ayuk has kind of been held back by the fact that Jimmy Garoppolo isn't trusted to throw or throw deep or throw out to the numbers. I think Brandon Ayuk is a really good player. I think he is a number 1 wide receiver in the league, and I think he's makes a bigger impact than Eric Armstead. I think he's going to lead the team in targets, catches, touchdowns this year. I think he's going to have a big year. Armstead, number 9. 8, I'm going Fred Warner. I know it's a little lower than people might expect. He's a hell of a player. He's great in zone coverage. But in terms of just pure man-to-man coverage, I think he's a little overrated. I don't even think they use him that way. They use just safeties in man-to-man coverage. So I don't know if you noticed it, but Trent Williams called him out. I don't know if you saw it the other day.
I didn't catch
Trent's
this.
like,
no.
look, he's like, look, the first 30 plays of our offense are scripted out every day in practice. And, you know, that script is out there for anyone to see. Yeah, it's not just for offense's eyes only. And I'm not saying that Fred Warner's finding the script and jumping. I'm not saying that. That's what he said. I'm not saying he's doing that. So that's what he was saying.
But you are. Yeah.
That's what he. So, hey, man, there's aspects of these practices that I don't even understand. Imagine if you wanted some good press, like, oh, okay, that's the play. Well, I'm jumping that route. And that doesn't help the team at all, frankly. But anyway, Fred Warner, very good player. I'm going to say he's a little overrated, but very good player. Number 7.
Ooh.
He's a great player. But I
No,
think
but
there's 7 players better
listen.
than him on the team.
Here's the thing. I just say ooh because that's your take. I
Right.
respect it. I completely disagree. However, you know that people are going to run with this, so just be ready for it. Is all I'm saying. Go ahead.
I was watching the Manti Te'o documentary, and it struck me that sometimes with middle linebackers, there's a little bit of a mystique. It's a little bit of, and with Fred Warner, is a little bit of a mistake with him. It's the interceptions and the coverage, and I feel like he's a little overhyped. There's some people a little underhyped on this team that I think deserve a little bit more recognition. I
All
will
right,
keep
that's
going.
fair. That's fair.
But anyway, he's an excellent player. He deserves all the accolades. I think there's some people who also deserve accolades too. Number 7, Charvarius Ward. I think Charvarius Ward's really good. I think if you straight man-to-man coverage, him against a wide receiver, Fred Warner against a tight end or a running back, Charvarius Ward all day. Now, Fred Warner, again, great against the run, great in zone coverage, but Charvarius Ward, just straight up man-to-man coverage, there are very few wide receivers in the league that can beat him. Brandon Ayuk's not one. Deebo wasn't there. Deebo came in late, and Charvarius, I'd never really got to see them go up against each other, but Charvarius Ward is a very, very good player. He's in his prime. And again, you better be freaking elite. You better be Devontae Adams if you're going up against Charvarius Ward. 7.
That's a great. I love that. That's great praise. That is exactly what we want to hear as 49er fans.
He just needs to stay healthy. Don't be D Ford.
Right.
Don't be the guy who gets the bag and then loses his edge. Because I'm always nervous about the guy who gets the bag and then gets hurt in training camp immediately. So let that be a fluke. Let that be a fluke, Mooney. Number 6, Emmanuel Mosley. I'm sold on Emmanuel Mosley. This guy's freaking. I think he's a top 100 player in the league. He battled so hard this camp and is better than Brandon Ayuk. Again, he's better than, and Deebo, he got the best of Deebo this offseason. Deebo's better than him. But Emmanuel Mosley on any given day can go toe-to-toe with the best wide receivers in the league. DK Metcalf, I think he can do it. I think he's going to prove it this year. He's had moments in the past where he's shut down Odell Beckham, great wide receivers, but he's also had moments where he kind of got worked by DeAndre Hopkins. I think this is his year. He's so confident in practices, really feeling like he owns these wide receivers on this team. I think this is the year that Mosley makes himself a lot of money and makes a name for himself.
I love it. I'm rooting for that kid.
5, Kittle. Look, I'm skeptical of Kittle being able to stay healthy for 17 games a year, but he's been healthy all offseason. He had a great offseason. He's 28 years old. He's in his prime. He's still a really, 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 really good player. George Kittle, number 5. Number 4, Jimmy Ward. Jimmy Ward. Look, it took me a while to figure it out, but Jimmy Ward is the best coverage safety in the league, period. He's so good that he doesn't want to do one-on-ones against Kittle. It's too easy. Sorry, George. He warms up against the wide receivers. He goes up against Ayuk because that's the challenge he needs. Sorry. If Jimmy Ward were going up against Kittle every day, he'd shut him down, and he does in 11-on-11s. When he goes up against Travis Kelce later this year, assuming Ward's cool with his hamstring, he's going to shut him down. He shuts down every freaking tight end he faces. And, when corners do that to wide receivers, they make a lot of money. They get a lot of press. They get a lot of notoriety. For whatever reason, safeties, you have to either hit hard or have like 11 picks in a year to get noticed. But no, Jimmy Ward, he's one-on-one. He's better than George Kittle, straight up. That's the way I look at it. That's the way I look at it.
That's impressive, man. That gets me excited because if that is true, if he can hold Kelce the way you think he can, Kansas City may not put up 20 that game.
We'll see. All I know is if I were Jimmy Ward and I saw George Kittle getting ranked 22nd or whatever in the top 100, I'm like, what about? I shut that guy down every day. What about
every
me?
Day, yeah.
All right, top 3. I'm with you on that. Deebo number 3, but I'm gonna switch up your top 2. I'm gonna go Trent Williams number 2, and here's why I'm gonna say Nick Bosa number 1. And I've been skeptical of Bosa, but as I said, I put Armstead number 10 because I feel like Bosa's kind of responsible for some of his sacks. Bosa makes his fellow defensive linemen better. His pressure creates opportunities for others to just clean up. Trent Williams, as great as he is doing his job, doesn't really do much for Mike McGlinchey or Jason Poe. I mean, again, of course you want a left tackle who's the greatest of all time, but there's something about Nick Bosa's ability to elevate others that was why I put him number 1. But they're both great.
I also think
And frankly, if you
naturally,
watch them one-on-one, Trent Williams gets the best of him most of the time. So hard to say.
I think I think naturally too, the one side of the defense getting after the quarterback can help the other side a
Yes,
lot more than the left
exactly.
tackle can help the
Exactly.
right tackle, right? Just I mean, that's
Exactly.
just football and the way that it
Yeah.
works. So I think
Yeah.
that's fair. Like impact
But who's
wise, I
better at
think
his job
Bosa,
individually? Trent.
yeah,
Trent.
but Bosa has a bigger impact. I think that's totally fair.
It's fun to watch Bosa go up one-on-one against Trent and be like, what do you got? I mean, it's nothing's gonna work. Nothing's gonna work, Nick. I mean, you're
It's so
great,
good,
and you'll
so good,
keep trying. You'll have a counter, and you'll keep straining, but you better wake up real early to figure. I mean, what are you gonna do? It's nothing.
so good.
It's
Yeah,
nothing.
yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
Jonathan Chavez says, I don't want to hear that. We are making it to the playoffs. Trey's better off the gate. If Kyle can make it easy for Garbagello, we'll be fine. Cut Trey some slack. Should have played the kid. OL. Yeah, OL worried. That's what I'm saying, man. Just inexperience in the offensive line. But yeah, to Jesse's point, there are a lot of things. 7 playoff spots, and then the NFC isn't exactly loaded this year.
Great.
Wide receiver 19, big payday, less game day, yes or no? I hope not. I hope not. I hope not.
To be fair, I think
Be
the
fair.
answer is yes, but this is not a knock on Deebo. I think just naturally to put up that season in back-to-back years, he's not going to be asked to do that. I don't think the 49ers, if they want to get 3 good years out of Deebo, want him to have that type of season again. That's just my opinion.
Flav says if Trey is really good and the Niners O-line is the reason we don't win the Super Bowl because Jimmy Money's wasted, Lynch should be fired. And if Trey is awful, Lynch should be fired. I
So
don't
either
think
way,
we
we're
need to
firing
fire
Lynch.
them, but yeah, because they've put together such a really the thing that's crazy about Kyle and John is they've put together a really good team and organization, but they can't get the quarterback position right. And we're all giving them 3 years with Trey Lance. Benefit of the doubt here. This is a project, figure it out, but
Yeah. And this is year 2, by the way. This is year 2.
Yeah, man, you wasted a year. You freaking wasted a year. So I get that. I mean, I like John. I want him in the organization, but at the same time, you got to get some results at the most important position eventually. You can't keep wandering in the desert, to use an Old Testament reference, at the most important position. Nine Game Wolfcast says the celebration combo with your dad, best celebration might be when Alden Smith ran full speed to the bench and sat. That was so funny.
So funny.
That was super funny. Players act like you've been here. I just feel like a lot of celebrations are kind of played out. If something were new and novel, I'm into it. But just doing it because you're supposed to or you have to, it's like, I don't know. Show some creativity. Alden Smith did. The coach says Fred definitely stole Quan's entire swag. That is so true.
For sure he did.
That
Yes,
is
that
so
is true. Yes.
That's facts. Quan had Fred talking a completely different way. That is so true.
Yes.
I have a feeling that basically Saleh and Kyle are like, look, Fred, we like you, but you're not enough like Quan. So we're bringing in Quan. And Fred's like, well, I'm going to make you guys not need Quan anymore. Whatever that rah-rah stuff is, I can do that.
Yeah.
So
he's a pest. I mean, he's like Draymond Green is to the Golden State Warriors. He's the pest of this team. And he's a good player also, right? But he's a pest. He gets under people's skin, and you need that. You need a disruptor on your team. You do.
Keith says Grant got Kittle 5, but wanted him traded. Fair. I'm glad you brought that up. To my defense, all I'm saying is trade him. You trade him a year early. That was always the thing that I learned as a kid, as a Niner fan growing up. You trade a guy a year early, not a year late. Kittle is still really, really good. But if he gets hurt again this year, next year at 29, coming off at 3, it's like what? So yeah, look, he's so far so good. I hope I'm proven wrong by betting against Kittle. I hope he stays healthy and just has a great freaking year. Because again, so far so good. But I'm a skeptic. N Patio 63 says first stream back since last season. What's up with y'all? Jesse, what happened to the beard?
Listen, I'll explain it here just like I explained it on my show. What's funny about the beard is I never had a beard. So I just turned 39 over the weekend, okay? I never had a beard until the pandemic. So it's funny because the 49er community only knows me with a beard, but my friends and family know me without the beard. And so it's this interesting contrast, right? They're like, all right, this is who I remember. And everybody else is going, what the hell are you doing, man? Where's the beard?
Funny, like, I just suck at that kind of stuff. And I'm like, Jesse had a beard? What? He looks totally normal. I don't understand what you're talking about. What? Really? Got me there. Chris Royal says Deebo will have more receiving yards this year, but less rushing. But overall, I think he can and will have similar total numbers. Thoughts? I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Look, I'm not supposed to talk about this, all right? So I'm gonna try to talk in code without getting in trouble. But the whole Deebo in the backfield thing, it's happening a lot.
Yeah.
And it's not just like handoffs. Like it's a whole, like
Which is
throwing to
great
him out of the backfield.
because
It's his best position. He can play two positions very well, but he is an elite running back. And as a wide receiver, he's great except for the fact that he drops too many passes. As a running back, he does everything great. He's great running. He's so good. And I'm saying you're right. It's if you think they're going to do less running back, Deebo running, no, more. He's just getting incentive. He's getting paid for it now.
Deebo is great in traffic once he has the ball in his hands. He's not great in traffic before he gets the ball, right? That's why he's so great behind the line of scrimmage.
And now that you got a quarterback whose ball placement is a little erratic, him and Deebo over the middle, not the best combination. I'm sorry. Not. So how do you can't just phase out Deebo from your offense, right? No. So Deebo.
You put Kittle and Jennings over the middle. Get those big body guys or Ayuk who can contort his body, right? Like
Dwelly.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Finally, they have a use for him. Oh, hold on. Damn. I don't get it.
I don't know.
Jonathan, I don't get it, but I like it. Is the best running back on the roster still Deebo? Yes. Deebo might be the. If I could have one running back in the league, I'd have Deebo.
Yeah, Taylor's pretty damn good. Taylor's pretty good.
Oh, yeah,
Taylor's pretty damn good.
Like Taylor can't play running back like Deebo. I mean, he can't play wide receiver. I think it's time to end the show. I'm not doing this anymore. He can't play wide receiver like Deebo anymore. Like ever.
That's true.
Deebo MVP season. Maybe. We'll see.
He'll have a good
All right, show's over. Stop giving me money. Stop. Right now. Thank you, though.
You want to take the link? I put the link in our private chat. You want to throw it out in the chat real quick?
Oh, yeah. Private chat.
So Grant is putting out a link right now for you guys. Click the link, sign in now. It's to watch the game with us live and not like watch us watch the game. It's legit game on screen, us watching the game. Click the link. All you have to do is sign in with your TV provider, whether that's Peacock, YouTube, a cable company, whatever. Sign in with that, and then you'll get to watch the game with us tomorrow live. So there you go.
I call my house the house that YouTube built. Gregorith, what did I say? What did I say? Stop giving me money.
No.
Stop it. Daniel Kelly says Niners will win only 4 games with Trey Lance. Dude, Daniel has made so many predictions this offseason. You got to love it. What happens when all of them come wrong? What are you going to do, Daniel? Because if you're right, you deserve the victory lap. But when you're wrong, what are you going to do? I want to know.
I wish it was earlier in the show, Daniel. I'd engage you a little bit more, but I'm tired.
G Martinez says, here's $2. I want to know so I can be the one who always makes you smile. All right. Thank you very much, everyone.